Good evening and welcome to the only important TV thing happening today.
Yeah. Reese,
Hi Reese, hi guys. It'll be interesting to see tonight who's actually on the stream because it'll be a little interest to see who actually likes football and who doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but, not going to let the side down. No. I'm here, present and correct. I'm waiting to see if the wife screams out the loft hatch. I'll be like, "How's it go?"
Yeah, I've got the window open because we can usually hear like crowds of people screaming in the background as well.
So. Oh, fair play.
We should have. I feel like we should have represented the two sides tonight, Lance. Like you could have been England or Scotland, and I'll be the other one.
Yeah. I've got a George Cross flag actually, but I can't get to it. It's packed. Evening, Nick.
Well, I definitely don't have a Scottish one to hand. So
just woken up. Whew, what about that? There's be a reprimand there, I think.
Oh no! To be honest, I'm jealous. I would rather be asleep all day today. Oh, Reese is watching us and the football.
Oh,
there we go.
Sort of split vision there. Nice, I like it. Football is just a bunch of overpaid drama queens. Oh, Gaz,
have you not seen us?
Straight in, Gaz. Yeah, Gaz, we play airsoft, mate. Are you kidding? But has anyone noticed the boo-boo on my nose? That hurts.
Hi, Andy.
Evening, Andy. So I had a fight with a thermos cup and lost terribly. Yeah. So basically, on top of my fridge in my kitchen, I've got a vintage French wooden crate, which we keep like the slow cooker and some lunch boxes and bits and bobs like that in it. And little did I know, there was a metal thermos cup sort of teetering on the edge. So I've, at the fridge, grabbed the crate, tilted it forward slightly, and this thermos cup has just gone and on the rim and just boshed me straight across the nose, which hurt. Whole weekend of not getting injured, taken out by a thermos cup.
Now, see, was it accidentally there or strategically placed?
Well, I don't know. I think the wife could have played some booby traps while I'm away.
Yeah.
Just to try and catch me out.
Yeah. He likes playing army. Let's lay some traps around the house.
Yeah. Let's see what he's like when he comes back fatigued. See if he's still got it. I'm like, yeah, no, I haven't really at all. Never had it.
Hi, Wayne.
You'll live. I hope so, mate.
Oh, look, Wayne's actually somehow managed to change his name.
Fresh meat. Go on, my son. Yes, I knew he'd embrace it eventually.
Yeah.
If I kept on at it, I knew he'd embrace it. I was hoping Rage would be in tonight because I've got some new podcast beer this evening. Trying Tiger, world acclaimed Asian lager. Reminds me of my holiday to Thailand. Beautiful stuff.
Gaz says, "Did you get the parcel, Lance?"
I did, mate. I did respond. Thank you very, very much for that, mate. That has been packed away into the kit bag. So some nice little goodies there to be added to the already enormous kit list that's already contained within the MilSim in a bag Bergen. So, Gaz, thank you very much, mate. Great stuff there, buddy.
Andy reckons she chucks it at you.
No, yeah, yes, she did. She did. No, it was a free falling thermos cup.
Just blink twice, Lance, if you need help.
Yeah. Safe word. It didn't even fall from a great height though, because it was literally just like that far away from me. But it was just the rim, just bang. I was like, "Fuck." But there we go. Never mind. Cool. It's not a scratch on Mr. Gaines's leg injury he got from the event. So
no, but go on about that because that was quite an interesting little thing. It's genuinely the only time I've ever played at an event where we've genuinely had to use first aid equipment. Yeah,
I mean I wasn't there. I was zero back at RPB, but it was over comms. It was obviously real world sort of incident. It's minor, so game can continue. They're in covers getting this all. But turns out I think Mr. Gaines, who's the alpha for Trojan MilSim team, had sort of ploughed his way through some undergrowth, and there was a tree with a very low-lying branch that had been snapped or come off, and it was just a spike, and it's literally essentially just sliced his shin. So he got patched up in the field, hard as nails, and then sort of cracked on the rest of the weekend with a cool-looking sort of blood stain on his fatigues on the lower shin area. So that was cool. But yeah, all good. He cracked on and carried on through it. So yeah, kudos to Charlie and his boys for patching him up and keeping him in the chat.
Sorry, breaking news. Wayne, fresh meat, bit of news for you all. 7:36 Sunday morning, I became a father again. So just as well didn't do the op. Oh. Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Fair play. I mean, to be fair, you could have attended, though. To be fair, Friday and Saturday, you'd have been all right, wouldn't you? No, just saying. No, I'm joking. I'm fucking joking. Sorry. No, congratulations, bud. Fresh Meat Junior in the house. Yes.
Yeah. Say, Wayne, depending on gender, Mike's quite a good name, or Michaela, or Nine for Tina.
Lance again, and Lancetta.
Yeah.
Paul and Pauline.
Yeah. Oh, Blue Ribbon. Call it Blue Ribbon.
Yeah. Lovely stuff. Fair play. No, congratulations, mate.
Why is your middle name Ribboned? Well, funnily enough.
Funny story behind it.
We had a vote on a podcast.
Yeah, and my parents took it seriously. Can you fucking believe it? Thanks, guys.
There you go. Gaz says Lance or Lucy.
Oh, yeah, I like it. What do we get if we call our firstborn Nofo? I've no idea. I don't know why you want to do that. Probably get punched in the face by your newborn when they're 18. That's what I'm
clarify also, especially after we had the Q&A on the last episode where we actually found out, or we told the story of where Nofo had come from. So maybe don't do that. Just a legal point. We're not being held responsible if anyone decides to call their child Nofo.
Nofo, yeah. AKA nutfucker.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, okay, you know what? If you call your child Nofo, you get a free patch. How's that?
That needs to be genuine, though. That needs to be birth certificate up to the max. Should it be?
Yeah.
Whack. With a megaphone, very loud. Is that a megaphone? Yes. Evening, Danny. Yes,
Wayne says it's a boy with no name at the moment as he looks like a right thug. Well, Mike, there you go.
Mike the Thug. Yeah, I'll see that. Or Nofo.
Yeah.
Fresh Meat Junior, mate.
No, hang on. We actually have a name for the fox. What was the name for the fox?
Kevin.
I can't remember. No, your son came up with it.
Really?
Yeah, we were sitting there discussing the episode one day.
I'll have to ask him. Was it Barbara, was it?
No, it was something fairly epic though.
Mother hen. My little chook.
The guy says, what about if your kid's initials were Nofo? Go for it, mate. Honestly.
Yeah.
I'll accept that. But again, birth certificate. It has to be an official.
Nigel Oliver Franklin Oliver.
The name's so good we used it twice.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, right, cool. So tonight we are Fred the Fox. No, it wasn't Fred. It was something like Bertrude.
Yeah, Gwendolyn.
Yeah, it was something like that. We'll have to find out.
I'll
tell you what, if you want to name the fox, seeing as we've forgotten what it used to be called, come up with a name and you get to win pride of next week's episode. How's that? Just send us your submissions of what you want to call the fox to nofochat@hotmail.com. Instagram is November_Foxtrot_Nofo. Facebook November Foxtrot Nofo, and YouTube November Foxtrot. There you go.
Do you realise what you've done? We're gonna get like Cunty McCuntson now, aren't we? And things like that.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Because that's it's community involvement. So if you want to name the fox, send a message to any one of those things down there.
Isaac, you're such a dick. I told you this is going to happen.
Oh, Isaac Hunt. I just got it.
Oh, Mike, you're so innocent. Drink some more of your gin. Has that got cucumber in it?
No, it's just lemonade. It's just green.
Oh, is it a green backdrop?
It's like a recycled. No, it's a recycled green glass.
Oh, nice. So, I like it.
I actually got these in Vegas, funnily enough. I carried all the way back on the plane. Anyway, right. Yeah, if you want to name the fox, send us a message.
Foxy McFoxface.
Any more of them out on the screen, just in case. So, Lance, the MilSim at the weekend, how was it for you?
It was good. It was very, very hot, and it was very, very tiring, mate. But it was good. It was nice to get out and do like a longer op sort of thing where you're sort of constantly out on the ground with sort of minimal rest. It was good. Yeah, no, I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. There was a couple of little blips that sort of didn't quite go to how I sort of intended it to go, but you live and learn, and hopefully sort of for the next one it'll be sort of ironed out those little minor problems. But on the whole,
storyline wise, or
a couple of bits of the story that didn't quite sort of marry up, which I thought they might have done, but they didn't. But that's you live and learn, don't you? Really. But from a NATO perspective, because I can't really comment on the Op4 guys, but from a NATO point of view, the 4 sections that I had. I mean, to be fair, we hit the ground sort of 9 guys down on the actual day, through illness and other bits and bobs, and just like people last minute non-attendees sort of thing, which is a bit frustrating. So that's something we're going to look at in the future. But on the whole, I mean, everyone just put 110% in through the heat. You know what I mean? There was no bitching, there was no moaning, there was no. Everyone was just like, yeah, let's go, let's get it done. So yeah, it was from my point of view, thoroughly enjoyed it. Very, very impressed with all the guys that came along. You know, we had Terry's team. You know, you had Reaper One, you had the Trojan guys, you had Mr. Brewer and his guys. And we had a couple of new guys that had not been to the site before that I hadn't met, who sort of shoehorned in with Terry's boys, and they were fantastic, really good. And like I said, you know, movements were great. Any taskings they were given, there was no sort of like, oh, you know, because everyone got a fair slice of the pie, and that's how, like I said, I've sort of pinched it from Legion, from Big Mike, the way he breaks the taskings up into like 2 and 3 hour times. Like you're on stag for 2 hours, and you do combat patrols or QRF, and everyone does it, so no one can really complain, because it's like, oh well, they're doing that, why aren't I doing it? So well, you're going to be in an hour and a half, 2 hours time. So, but I didn't get any of that. Everyone was more than happy in the roles they were given. The comms were really good for this weekend. I think we had a tiny little bit of comms issues with the Land Rover, but that seemed to be squared away quite quickly. And other than that, I never had any problems with comms at all from my personal point of view. You know, I seem to raise anyone. A little bit now again, you might lose it when they go down into the valley and stuff like that. But you know, that was easily rectified. So yeah, on the whole, I was very impressed with it from a NATO point of view, mate. Yeah, I think everyone, you know, done as best as they could with what we had.
Can I just say, right? People keep putting messages in the chat about the Fox name. Just send us a message, because I'm not reading them out. And Joe Dupe, I don't trust you anymore.
No, don't trust him. Do not trust that man. Do not trust that man. No, he's a gem. He's a gem.
Yeah. So, did you want to talk about some of the kit you wore? So we've got some photos. This was
so
that was all your glory.
That's it. Look at him, genius. So that was with the DCS. That was the Friday morning, just sort of before kickoff. Sort of looking rather fresh faced, but also looking like I'm covered in shit at the same time. But yeah, that was me at my best. So yeah, DCS there. Obviously the polymer mag holders up front, one to the side, and obviously my shooter's belt, which worked really well. I was really impressed with that and really happy with that setup. So I probably will be investing in a proper one further down the line, because that's sort of one I've mocked up with some spare bits of bobs I've got in the old airloft. So yeah, really happy with the DCS. I did get quite hot on it, I must admit, because it did under that canopy, it was baking. I mean, and the guys in the dish dashes on the Op 4. I mean, I spoke to Paul and a few of the other dudes, and they was like, yeah, it was baking hot, proper hot. But then not one person, that's one thing I must say from the NATO point of view, is not one person went down all weekend with anything related to not taking enough off water, like dehydration, headaches, anything like that at all. Everyone was on point with making sure they took plenty of fluids on, keeping an eye on their oppos, making sure their other guys, when they got the chance to, if they're on stag, make sure they're in the shade, making sure when they stopped, they took a seat and just got that 5 minutes of pressure off the legs, took on some water, and like I said, didn't have any issues at all whatsoever with regards to people drinking and stuff like that. So that was spot on. That was, because it was hot. So I changed out my rig sort of into the late Friday afternoon. I got the Warrior chest rig out, which completely changed it. It allowed a lot of heat to escape from my back, because I run my 17-litre day sack as well. But that sort of contained a lot of the heat. So I mean, my combat shirt was like gipping with sweat. It was like saturated, like I just stepped out of a shower when I took that off. So yeah, the chest rig was an absolute godsend to have that available to be able to change out. Plus, I had a couple of issues with a couple of my riffs, so I chucked the chest rig on purely to run the 249 for a little while, and then just dropped back onto my DMR, which was golden all weekend once again. It was a wicked bit of kit. So yeah, but trouser wise, they're the Viper Tacticals with the knee pads, and they were bob on. No problems with them whatsoever at all. I had the Under Armour cycling shorts on again, just to prevent the old chub rub. And I must admit, which is the first time it's happened to me, towards the end of the late Saturday evening, I did get a little bit of chafe, tiny bit of chafe, which was a bit uncomfortable, which I was a bit shocked about, because I thought, I've never had it before. But whether it's just the added
Did you change out your shorts?
No, just the same pair. I had the same pair on.
Yeah, see, I find
they were proper honking by the end of Saturday.
If you don't change them out, like probably about halfway through an event, then yeah, it does start to get to you.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, it's not happened before. But I mean, obviously, the event we done prior to this wasn't in that sort of heat. you know what I mean? But oh god, what's this?
Jade, I assume you're talking about the chub rub. Oh no, hang on. Right,
camelbacks are good, but I much prefer a moose knuckle.
Jade said, did you have any camelbacks and use them? So what are you wearing there, hydration wise?
So I've got the 1 litre hydration bladder on the back there, which stays on my rig all the time, and then I'd run either 1 or 2 1 litre bottles in my assault pack. Just obviously for me or any of my guys who've like, if something happens, a hydration hose breaks or they can't get to the water, I've got a spare one which I can give to them to use, and then obviously clean it out later on and reuse it for myself or whatever.
Sorry, I was just reading Joe's follow-up. The camelbacks are good, but much prefer moose knuckle.
Moose knuckle. Oh. Not sure how much water a moose knuckle carries, though.
I'll tell you what, an epic brand, though.
Yeah, a counter brand to challenge the camelback, the moose knuckle water bladder. Yeah. I wonder what sort of drinking straw type thing it would be.
Andy says it was so hot. I'm ignoring that. Andy said it was so hot last weekend. My ice plate really showed its worth.
Ah, yes, yeah. Andy, you got them, haven't you? Yeah, that would have been a good shout, man. I mean, how long it would have stayed frozen for, I don't know. But I mean, yeah, because it was hot. But it was nice. It did drop off a bit in the evening, which wasn't too bad. But throughout the day, especially when you're stuck in a building.
Oh, sorry. It's just reading the chat. This is really not helpful. But so I'm just going to read the chat directly out. So Jade said, "Did you have any camelbacks and use them?" Joe Dupe said, "Yeah, camelbacks are good, but I much prefer a moose knuckle." Jason said, "Oh God, what?" We were obviously talking about the capacity. Joe said around 6 litres.
Wow.
Jade said, "Is it more than a camel?" And Joe said, "Depends if it's from Newcastle."
There's a Liverpool version that can take 7.3 litres.
Oh, Joe. Right, sorry.
That'll be stuff. Stop it, all right?
Yeah. So the ice plate, Andy, I'd be interested to see if you let us know in the chat. So did you freeze those presumably in advance?
No, he froze them during the event, Mike, whilst he was running.
I'd be interested to know. So that I'm assuming that they were frozen in advance and how long they lasted, because it's something that I've been interested in.
Because did you know Andy Bob is actually Sub-Zero? And
oh.
Did you freeze them in advance?
No, I said I assume you freeze them in advance. Well, no, because the point I was trying to make.
Sorry,
the ice plates.
It's Tiger beer. I've not had this for a long few years now.
It's fine. The ice plates, you can put cold water in, don't you? You don't actually have to have them frozen. That's what I was trying to get at. So it's whether sorry, still the chat's still going on. It's whether Andy was putting in like new fresh water into that to basically like replace the hot, like the warmer water. That's all.
Joopy's on fire tonight. So far, he's so good. I shouldn't even laugh at that.
Oh. So
right, can you two stop? Can we put Jade and Joe in a private chat and just crack on, please?
You obviously had you had some little kit issues, Lance. So this is obviously you getting your stuff squared away back in the airloft.
Yes, mate. Yeah. So that's just after.
Do you want to talk about your little
my little faux pas? Yeah. So
faux pas, yeah.
So obviously post event, following morning, packed all my kit away. It was still hot, so when I travelled to the site, just had a shorts and t-shirt on, pair of trainers. So I chucked them back on because all my gear was gipping, and then I bagged it up and stuck it on the top of my Bergen. Got home, and it's the first time I've ever done that. It's the first time I've ever come back from an event wearing just a pair of civvies, if you like. So got my water bottles out, Camelback, cleaned it all, blah blah blah. Took all my batteries out, usual safety stuff, radio batteries, blah blah, everything that's potentially fire, like pyro, all that sort of stuff. All squared away straight away, nice. Shut the Bergen up in the loft, all the other kit, and then sort of tonight I've sort of started get a few bits out, start squaring it away. So we've got another event in a couple of weeks' time, and I stood my Bergen up on my little table and I just unclicked it, and it like the top cover because it was quite packed. It sort of opened itself, and I went, "Oh, what the fuck is that? What is a fucking animal died in my bag, crawled in there, and I've just, trapped a raccoon in there or something whilst at the event." And of course, it wasn't. No, I'd left all my gear in there, like my fatigues, my Under Armour cycling shorts, my socks, So yeah, that had been in there for a good 8 days, just in a hot loft, just honking. So yeah, smack for me. Yeah,
I mean, who'd do something like that?
Yeah, I know, and I've never done it. yeah.
To be fair, at least you found it within like a week. I've left stuff for like months before.
Yeah, mate. I think if I'd left it any longer than that, there wouldn't have. I don't think there'd have been clothes left. I think it would have just been dust.
Yeah, just
a bundle of dust. So I took it down, and Lou was like, "Tell me that it's not your stuff from last week." I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Just put it in the machine." I said, "Don't even want to look at it." I was like, "You sure? It's here." She was like, "No, look, put it in the machine. Put it in the machine." So she chucked
I can smell it on the approach.
4 tablets in straight in the can with the clothes, and then she puts like double the amount of comfort that's required for that 5 garments. Just like locks it down. I was like, she's like, "Just leave me alone. Go away. Don't talk to me."
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Get the extra bleach out.
Yeah, especially on the gusset.
Yeah. Andy says, yes, it stayed nice and cool for all of Saturday. Sunday, I had drunk most of it, but it had a cooler in the van with frozen water in it to top it up. There you go. Right, so
perfect.
He did. Yeah,
awesome.
It wasn't just.
Yeah, but it arrived frozen.
Yeah. But it says no. He said he has a cooler in the van with frozen water in it to top it up on Sunday. So
to top it up once it defrosted from his home freeze.
Yeah.
That's Scorpion, isn't it?
Andy said, freeze it Thursday, kept it in the cooler on the drive up, so stay frozen most of Saturday, cool until Sunday morning, and topped it up with Sunday morning cold water in the van. There you go.
So he did freeze it at home. He didn't freeze it on the go, like some sort of Yeti Jack Frost. Oh, froze.
Hi, Les.
Evening, Les.
Oh, look, James is here. James said, muddy boots and a black bag, forgot for 4 months. Oh. Yeah, I can imagine that they were pretty.
Yeah,
I'll tell you what. Actually, the worst
like
thing
a worm farm.
The worst thing with muddy boots though is when you take them out of the bag and then it's the mud, because obviously it's all dried out at that point, and it just goes everywhere. It's like it just goes into like a proper mud powder.
Yeah,
like like the like the icing sugar type thing. Whenever I cook with icing sugar, just icing sugar goes everywhere, regardless of the tiniest amount that you get out. For some reason, it's on the ceiling, the walls, the floor, everywhere. And mud's exactly the same. James also said hello, Miss Julian. So we'll go into that in a little sec, because
of course, yes,
that was quite a good part. So for those who don't know, I wasn't actually able to make the event at the weekend due to my breastfeeding course.
How was that? Actually,
for my wife, to clarify, it was very interesting.
When's Anna's one? When's she going to do her one?
No, it was just me.
Your pervy one. Were you in the building or just looking through the window? Like that?
No, genuinely, I will say I learned a lot, and it was very interesting. And the lady leading the course said, there are no stupid questions. I was like, okay.
Hello, I'm Mike Fraser.
So, and I just simply asked, I said, so the boob from Meet the Fockers, the fake boob, is that a real thing? And if it is that recommended? Well, no, because the reason being is there'd been a question
because I want it as a camelback.
That's the moose knuckle.
Bitty. The bitty bag.
Oh, you get a team one. It's just like a pack of them along your back.
That would just be like a cow udder, wouldn't it? Of like 6 or 7 teats, just to everyone, for the younglings to suckle from.
Oh, blimey!
This is supposed to be a debrief, for Christ's sake. Come on.
Yeah. Anyway, so I asked about this, and she went, "Oh no, it turns out that there are some stupid questions." But she did answer. And to be fair, I got a very, very good answer about how there is something called nipple confusion, where babies prefer a simpler nursing method. So, for example, with a bottle, that's apparently easier than from a boob.
Like a bottle attachment on the boob.
Yeah, so it was basically, she was saying that if babies have a boob and then a bottle, they'll generally prefer the bottle because it's easier to feed from. So the thing I was trying to get to is the fact where if you could have a bottle or the fake boob or whatever, where you could Yeah, it's where you could like replicate the nipple. Basically, it would be a better thing. But anyway, yeah, this is about an airsoft event, not about.
Christ's sake, Mike, stop getting all pervy on us.
Oh, hi, Rage. Rage was obviously there at the
All Rage, yes. Look, Tiger beer, mate. Tiger lager tonight, sunshine. I know it's not your neck of the woods, but it's 4.9%, so I'm not doing bad. I'm getting there. It was wicked to see you as well at the weekend, mate.
Yes, it was.
Pucker, great to meet you finally.
Genuinely, I remember this very, very nice moment where I'm just standing there and all of a sudden this guy just comes storming towards me. He's like, oh, get out, big beard. I was like, oh. I'm like, oh my word, this is terrifying. And then he grabbed me. We ran out to like the side and then he was like, right, we're going to run down the hill. I was like, okay, cool. So I ran down the hill and then bless him, he fell over because I don't know, he got caught on something and that man went down.
God damn it.
And
is that when he cradled you in his arms and just looked down at you like that?
I was like, oh my God, you're right. And then, he's got up and so it was fine. And it was only after that I realised it was Rage. And he is genuinely the nicest man. It was a pleasure to meet you, Rage. Genuinely.
Yeah, absolute gent.
So, right, yeah. So, one of the things, so obviously I was at the event as I was unable to go because I had the NCT class, but I rocked up as press. So this was me in my press garb.
So did a sterling job, I'd like to add.
Yep. So I was rocking about. So this is a Mark III civilian Osprey vest, which I have actually customized. So this little epaulet thing I actually had to get specially made because you can't buy them anywhere. And if anybody wants any, I've got some for sale because apparently the minimum order was 10.
Oh, for Christ's sake.
So
I'd have covered it in a lot then, if that was the case. I'd have taken full advantage of that. Press.
Well, annoyingly, I've actually got 2 batches of these because the first batch I got made, I picked the wrong colour. So I've actually got about 20 of these. But yeah, so I also, I don't know if you can see, I've got like a little cheeky press pass. Oh, that's quite a good zoom.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. I've got a little press pass there as well. And my character's name was Julian Banjo. For those that can make that out. So, yeah. I quite like making fake IDs.
Born from the Octo 8 event, that name, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I knew it would come back to haunt you.
Yeah, no, just again living it. It's fine.
Just embracing it. Just embracing it, man.
Exactly. But no, I quite like making all like the fake documents and fake IDs and stuff. I actually ended up with a fake passport, fake British passport, a letter from the MOD, fake plane tickets, a variety of documents and stuff that people could, when they sort of spoke to me or whatever, if they wanted to have a look through, they could have a look through. But one of the little things I really like about making these sort of little documents, that QR code actually takes you to like the Afghan national like government website and stuff like that. So it's like lots of little Easter eggs and stuff in it. But no, I really enjoyed it. It was great fun. I've got to go around and obviously meet loads of people, take loads of photos. We did some little.
It just added another element to the game as well, didn't it? Like, I'm actually having press there, like I was out on the ground, almost like the Ross Kempy sort of type thing. Do you know what I mean? So,
yeah. I mean, the only thing I would say is that. So I thought, right, well, if you're a news reporter, you're most likely to have like a classic news reporter helmet, which I tried to make, and I won't lie, it is not a flattering look in any way. I mean, from this event, I've decided I definitely need to lose some weight. Because the beer gut is clearly, very apparent. But this helmet and my jowly face are just so rounded. It's
full protection. You're civvies, mate. At the end of the day, you need to be protected. End of.
But it was great fun. It was great fun, just sort of roaming around and just meeting people and stuff like that. I mean, at one point, the Op4 were tasked to capture me, so that was quite cool. So got to go and do that. So yeah, that was. That was probably, it was quite a good event for me, in all honesty. It was just nice to say rocking around and taking some pictures and things. And yeah, I mean, in terms of taking some of the photos of you boys, Lance, because obviously you're out and about. And we don't always get photos necessarily at some of these events because
as a team, going to like the Zulu 13, our team, we are crap at taking photographs. Not as in the quality of them, we just don't take them. And we always make a conscious effort leading up to the event. It's always in the chat. Please, lads, make sure you get a couple of pictures of your buddy next to you, and likewise for him to you. And for a bit of content or that. When we get back, I've got 2 on my phone. One's of my fucking foot in the car that I forgot that I've taken by accident. Another one's of something else has gone off my pocket, and that's it. That's my contribution to the photo stores of that event. And I was a little bit better this time. I think I took 6. I think 2 of them were by mistake as well, and one of them was a screenshot. I'm getting there. I'm really getting there. It's a lot of pressure.
It is. I mean, it is genuinely quite hard. When you're at an event, you just want to enjoy the event and kind of do that. It's, rather than sitting and taking photos. But
you got 3 radios going into your head, and it's just like a picture.
Jade just said the next MilSim film sim she's at, there's someone called Dick Chili.
Yummy.
Yeah. She also said, I've got a news reporter helmet. Did you say the latest Octo YouTube? I did, and that was a far better attempt at my helmet. Don't make that up. So one of the other characters that was there was my mate James, or our mate James. So James played Matty Siamak. I gave James this awesome, genuine Afghan name, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was. But it turned out
that's because it's awesome and genuine, because you can't pronounce it.
But one of the fun things about the weekend was the fact that I just really rolled into the fact that my character didn't know what his name was at all. So I was just making everything up under the sun. So every time I referred to him, it was always like Moti, Mitty, Matty, Matto, Matey. Like it was just every variation. There we go. James has literally just said it's God damn it, it's Matty Siamak. I gave him the name as well. That's the worst thing, is the fact I literally wrote that. I created the little pass for him as well, so we genuinely had these passes. But it was great fun. Like James and I was just sort of roaming around.
It was.
James,
I mean, you guys did a sterling effort, and with your, and obviously you've got your other little bit to mention, Mike, in a little while. But I must, whilst James, I must say how impressed I was with, like, I mean, the wardrobe he must have brought along.
Yeah.
For the 5 or 6 different like NCPs that he played throughout the event, just to add a bit to the storyline and to shoehorn in a couple of little side missions and that. I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, I'll take my hat off to him. It was really, really good. It was great, and it was a surprise because most of it I didn't know about. So I'd get this dude rocking up, thinking like, I need to speak to the NATO like commander or whatever it is. I'd be like, "Who the fuck's that? Oh, it's James again. He wasn't wearing. What?" But there was one in particular. He said he briefed me on I think it was his cousin, I think, who'd been led astray by the Taliban, and obviously his family had come to a grisly end, and we needed to capture him, inform him of this grisly end to his family, to then turn him back. And he was in the nicest possible way. He was trying to tell me in character that it was him as someone else. And me being just an idiot going, huh? He was going, it's going to be me. It looks exactly like me. Like, I see. Right. Okay, now I'm with you. Okay, that's good. Yes, brilliant. Thank you. Thanks for the intel. Yeah, Sangir. But he was brilliant. Yeah, so James, I do take my hat off to you, mate. You did fantastic. So well done. Thank you for that. Much appreciated.
Yeah. This thing, I mean, James, genuinely, I was amazed at his commitment to the role. So I'd said to him, "Oh, can you just run around with me, taking some pictures and bits and pieces?" Because I know that you said, Lance, that you're quite keen on getting like these little video news clips and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Absolutely, yeah.
So I created this stuff for James as like, because I haven't got the time to make him a little passport as well, unfortunately, before the event. So I made him effectively an Afghan national. So he was like my local guide, sort of support technician,
freelance
basically.
Sort of thing. Yeah.
And he really committed to it, and that he just ran around following me afterwards, going, "Oh, Mr. Julian, I'm coming." But so that was grand. Generally, it was so much fun just hanging out with James. But I mean, one of the best parts that I found was the fact that the Taliban basically captured us. And they took us down to the village, and they decided that they were going to execute us, because I'm not really sure what their reasoning was, but they decided that was what they wanted
Something
to do.
Horrific.
Yeah, so they picked me first, and they took me out in front of them all. And there's a good like 30 or 40 people standing there. So it is quite like, I wouldn't say threatening, but it felt very enclosed. I felt like that this was, it was fairly imposing. And they said, "Oh, have you got any last words?" And I won't lie, the first thing that genuinely came out of my mouth was, "Well, I'd just like to point out that Moti in the building," again,
Matty.
not remembering his name, Matty in the building, is actually an Afghan national, and therefore he's technically more of a traitor than I am. And they were like, "Oh, great idea!" So they executed him first, and they dragged him out of the building. And bless him, he came out. They dragged him out, and he was looking at me, and he was like, "Oh, Mr. Julian, they've killed you." I was like, "I'm actually really sorry." Oh, I'm back now. I said, I'm actually really sorry. They're going to kill you first. The look of surprise on his face when I told him that I'd basically sold him down the river. Yeah, it was just great. And then they executed me as well, and then that was the end of Julian Banjo, unfortunately.
Oh.
But no, it was good. It was good.
But then, having said that, if you can move on, you did rise from the ashes as like a phoenix.
I did rise from the ashes. So the other character I got to play, I had to disappear Friday afternoon, but the other character I got to play was this fine gentleman who I'm yet to actually name properly. I think I came up with like Owen Johnson or something like that, but I've got to come up with something a bit better. But basically, to lead
he's a shifty character, so he is.
He is very shifty, especially his terrible Belfast accent. So this chap basically was coming into the game to buy, I think, sort of like biohazard munitions and various bits and pieces. Basically, an arms dealer. Coming to sort of buy and sell stuff from the Taliban. The Taliban.
Taliban. That's like a North Korean element of the Taliban, is it?
No, that was just what Taliban is in the Belfast accent that I kept crying out with. But anyway, there were two other guys from the Punishers that were with us. So there was Marcus and Dan were down there as well, and I'd named them Mr. Robertson and Mr. Stevenson. Just so that I could remember their names, because I was like, I need to have a name, and I had this little line.
Because you do so well with names that you issued people.
No, but I had this little line that I really wanted to use. So when I rocked up, I was like, "Oh, if any of you two fuckers move, Mr. Roberts is going to put a bullet in." I can't even do the accent now, but I was like, "Oh, it's going to put a bullet in your head and stuff like that," and it was like it worked out really well. And then I went with like a pair of shorts and like a tropical t-shirt type thing.
As any weapons dealer would wear.
Exactly. What I was trying, what does a weapons dealer wear? Like,
exactly that. That.
So there was a couple of cool photos like that, and I know that one of the NATO taskings was to sort of try and get into the forest either side of the village and take photos of me coming in. And then
it's Mr. Howe.
Hi Paul.
Any last words?
I've got to come back to that. I'll come back to that set because that was quite funny as well. But so then I know NATO was sort of tasked with trying to sort of capture photos of stuff of this all happening, and I think that they did get there and they were trying to take pictures of people, but I think they only took the villages. If I think
rightly. They got I think the angle of the dangle where their LUP, where they put their LUP, it didn't quite cover that side of that building. So they essentially got everyone except for you and the Op4 leader there get like doing the deal. Bless them. But obviously they did technically sort of smash that one. So fair play to him for that.
Yeah. So that was good. And then James was also playing Op4 of one of his other roles. And he was
literally like Jason in his Technicolor Dreamcoat.
He was.
His coat of colours just arriving.
Yeah. Every time he comes out, he's just wearing different costume.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. So going back to Paul's comment. Sorry, I forgot about this. When I was being executed, they'd said, "Oh, have you got any last words?" And I said, "Well, I didn't want to kind of just go out quietly, so I started Moby Dick, just reciting Moby Dick, which was quite fun." So I got shot pretty sharpish after that. But
So from a press point of view, from like a civvy pop sort of type NCP, anything that you would like to have done but you didn't get to do, or anything that you'd do better next time that you didn't quite get to do this time? So
I would say the only thing I would probably say was there wasn't quite a lot of villager interaction. A lot of the times when I actually got to the village, there wasn't like many people there. Which I was sort of all geared up, and I know James was as well, that we could sort of go and like do little interviews with the locals and do sort of pieces to camera and stuff like that for that.
Also, take care, Rage. See you soon, mate.
Oh, see you, Rage. So that would have been quite cool. But it's just that's how the game went. There's all sorts of stuff going on throughout the weekend and stuff. But I'm looking forward to potentially getting people have been naming it the character. I quite like Barry Fiddle.
Barry Fiddle.
Nick also said Adiri, or Double D for short.
Double D.
Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to kind of getting that character out again. And it was so I've got a little bit of a background in sort of amateur dramatics and stuff, and it was quite good fun just to sort of ham up stuff a little bit. And whilst my accent wasn't the best, my camera's gone. It was quite good to sort of play a little bit more role play type stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, it would have been cool just running around and being NATO for the weekend. Or
I'll tell you something. I missed my LMG gunner this weekend. Yeah, that you would have been Andy on several occasions because we were up against it. I must admit, we really were up against it. I think we had two. I think Mr. Brewer had one on the go at one point. I believe that may have gone down. I'm not sure. And then obviously November 2-3, which was the Trojan guys. I think they had one saw. So that was it.
He was running a GMP Stoner.
Yeah. So, awesome. So you were there. You were there mechanically.
I went over to him and I realised that I didn't have my Stoner on me at the time. And I went up to him and went, "Oh, I really like the Stoner." And then he was like, "Cool."
Awkward. Anyway. And
it was just we walked away. James was like, "You that was a really weird interaction." I was like, "Oh yeah, I haven't got mine on me."
Yeah, I just got a camera and a notebook.
Yeah.
God, fuck.
Yeah. So basically, this poor chap's literally had me wander up to him and go, "I really like your gun."
Did you growl?
Yeah. No, it was good though. It was a good weekend. It was a really good event. The only thing I would say for me personally, my
Oh, sorry, let's Danny had a 249 on the go, didn't he? Yes.
Yeah.
Of course he did, yeah. Sorry, my little chicken, Danny. Snores like a resting bullock, but oh mate. Fuck, that snoring.
Let's just see if I can find a photo of him quick. I don't think I can very quickly. But from my perspective, I think obviously a couple of faux pas I made. Didn't put a stag rotation in on the Friday night. So that was a massive cock up from me, but I'm going to blame the fact that we haven't been out for an event like that for a long, long time. So that was my bad. Didn't get a stag rotation put in. Obviously, we got bumped a couple of times in the morning, which was cool. A little bit of a tit for tat on that one, but there we go. And essentially, I mean, I've got no other really, I wouldn't say complaints or critiques from our point of view. I think, like I said, I think the lads were solid. I mean, like I said, we were 9 people down. I mean, on a force that was already less than the Op 4, because of the idea of obviously the Op 4 having more guys was because they would be playing the role of insurgents as well as Civi Pop. So they had sort of like 15, 20 guys more than us already. But then for us then to be 9 down extra, I think we did. I don't think we done too bad at all, really. I mean, I think there was one point on the Friday night where our PB was getting hit. There was 4 of us there essentially for nearly an hour until we could chew on some resupply in from our harbour area, which we managed to sneak them in through the back door, which was good. I was like, oh, thank God for that. But yeah, my from completely on me, my biggest faux pas of the weekend was purely not putting a stag rotation in earlier on in the day, just to let the guys prep for that for the evening, because I had the Trojan guys out on the greens until the early hours of Saturday morning. I think they didn't rock up to the PB to the harbour area till it was gone 3:30. And me and Marcus were sort of last men standing. We had a couple of we had a bit of ink coming from Trojan, which was cool, just like possible enemy movements up towards the fob. So I jumped on the thermal. Marcus was there. I think I don't know if he used my greens at one point. Might have done, but I jumped on the thermal and did a full scan, full 360-degree patrol of our PB. Didn't pick anything up. So whether they bugged out or diverted off, I don't know. But so that was cool. It kept us on our toes for a little bit. And then obviously, they did get into your fob at one point, I believe.
I think it was this. Yeah, it was the Saturday morning. Again, that is down to me because I didn't put my stag rotation in.
I did see that Paul took some photos, and I think he took some photos, but I know that there was definitely Paul wandering around the base.
Yeah, the harbour area with nobody in it. It was all good fun. I think it was all hands to the pump. Obviously, like I said, because we were 9 guys down, I literally had to have everyone out in the field. So the harbour area essentially became just like a place to crash if you needed to. And our main concern was obviously the trouble with the stockade or our patrol. We used to, when we first started on the Friday morning, I sort of threw a bit of a spanner into the works, and I got a recce team to go out and patrol and secure. Oh, he is! Oh, look! Oh,
it's amazing. It's a bit of Johnny Walker Red Label.
That's it. Amazing. Or JD Honey is always another good one.
Yeah, I don't share the JD. That stays in the cupboard.
How are you, mate? All right.
Yeah, not bad, mate. You?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Yeah. Oh, look. Oh, I've gone to mush now.
I know, honestly. This is the one thing.
See, I couldn't do that. I wouldn't be awake with my two when they were that age. As soon as I started feeding them, I just go.
It's all right.
The amount of pictures my wife's got of me asleep with my kids just on me is like it's like an album.
I've got quality entertainment on. I don't know if you can. It's a bit of you can really see that, but it's. I
didn't expect to see me and Mike there. Then I'm not going to lie.
Dora and the Lost City of Gold.
Oh, fair play.
Nothing but high entertainment.
Yeah, fair play, mate. Oh, good. Yeah.
I was going to say, actually, at the weekend, it was great because I was in this little shack and then literally looked out the window and there's just Paul there. I was like, Paul! And he was literally like, and they just carried on shooting.
I had to pop to the safe zone. I think I had to change a battery out on one of the staff radio sets. I was literally spun around the corner. There's Paul there. He was like, "Want a cigar?" I was like, "Yeah, all right then." So we sat down and had a cigar. He was like, "Do you want a can of Monster?" I was like, "Yeah, all right then." I don't have much of a rest this weekend. I was like, "Yes." I've never had one of these before. I skipped up the safe zone. I was like, "Whee!"
Yeah, you was up to about 2:30, weren't you?
No, well, the Saturday morning, I think I got my head down 3:45, 4, and then I was roused by Mr. Marden's tag rounds at about 6:30, 7:15.
Yeah, knock.
I was just like, morning, and I thought, oh, we ain't got a stag in. Yo,
Go on.
Hello.
I
I
was like, we ain't got a stag rotation in, nobody's up, and then I think we had about 9 rounds coming. I was like, well, everyone's dead. So it was like red lights on because they were just blowing up everywhere, all around the harbour area. But then weirdly, I don't know why, but so we'd all been blown up by these tag rounds, and then a full section came in and started shooting everyone. And I was like, lads, we've been blown up. We're already dead.
No, we're dead.
It's just like, and then the look on this guy's face is like, oh, oh, yeah, of course, yeah, the tags blown, bang, yeah, well done. So on your way. Yeah, that was good. That was a nice wake up for us.
I don't think they quite figured out who the informant was.
It was Mark Kettles, wasn't it?
Well, it was just bounced around about 20 different people.
He hated that the whole week. So there's a guy in our team, guys, Mr. Kettles, a lovely guy, and at one point he was back at the Op4 harbour area. Sort of looking a little bit down in the dumps, and I think it was Mr. Mins. I think it was James went back and he said, "I saw Mark," and he was looking a bit down in the dumps. He was like, "You're all right." He's like, "No, everybody thinks I'm the mole, but I'm really not." and then it was moved on to Sean, Mr. Glass. Yeah,
it's amazing when you trickle something in like that.
Oh, mate, Chinese whispers, isn't it? And I mean that in the nicest possible way, but it's just like, is it you?
Is it him? Is it? And I'm like, and because they said about something or other. And they went, oh yeah, because I think that someone had put an IED in your fire pit or whatever.
I'd heard about this. Yeah, I mean, we found the tip of a striker, but I mean, we completely, because I thought in the interest, I don't know, in all seriousness, I thought in the interest of safety, I actually need to.
Well, that's the thing. So when
I actually need to take this fire apart now. So I was like, thanks for that.
When they said about the mole, and they goes, oh, whoever it is this mole. What we really need to look for is probably one of the most sort of safety conscious people on our side. And I'm going, yeah, I don't know who that could be. And I'm going, no, it could be like Kettles, or it could be
like a health and safety
it could be this.
manager.
And I'm like, there's no one even thought about me being a health and safety manager for Coca-Cola.
Well, not since your story of the straws being loaded and thinking it's a box mag in the fact.
But it's interesting because it almost swept through the camp. oh, who is it? Is it this person? Is it that person? Is it this person? Is it? And like,
well, this is it. You'll get that air of doubt. I mean, obviously, on the NATO sort of side, that sort of thing doesn't come into it, obviously, because you're playing the part that you're playing. But sort of on an op forward, there's like there can potentially be the skullduggery and the insurgents can be sort of flipped and turned and things like that. Obviously, that can start playing a part and like internal battles start erupting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the good thing is you can sort of you can almost change a storyline yourself.
Wait, absolutely, yeah.
You know, so if it's getting a bit quiet or if it's a bit, you know, you can sort of go up and drop a bit of intel to you guys on Blue 4 and then almost turn around and come back and go, oh, I've heard that, you know, Blue 4 are going out. Can we go and do this? You can almost set up your own mini battle, you know, just by sort of trickling a bit of intel into each side. So it was quite interesting. And then, as I say, then we got the bit made me laugh. You was just talking about just a minute ago where we sort of kidnapped the film crew or the press. Yeah, took them back to the village, and they're kind of like sort of improvising this execution, and then there's me in the background going, I can't be seen to be in this video. If this got on social media, I
was a little bit nervous about it, and I was the one being executed.
I really can't be in this video. And then Rage is with us as well, going, I can't be in this. I really can't be in this video. So we both ducked down and we're like, I can't be there. And then
just see two asses from behind a crate or something like that.
And then it goes round, and I think it was like or something like that. It was about to get executed. It was like, have you got any last words? And he went, yeah, I'd like to quote Moby Dick, call me Ishmael, and started reeling off the first lines of like one of the longest books. Like, you haven't got that long, mate. Bang.
Sorry.
But yeah, it was good. I mean, it's great to meet some people as well, you know.
Oh, but bumping into you and Mike and that, and actually seeing you physically, it was odd.
Yeah, it is, and massively disappointing the fact that there was absolutely no blue ribbons. People kept talking about this mythical.
There was blue ribbons. There was Terry. Terry had not that I got one. I didn't get one from him, the greedy bastard.
The NATO base was full of them.
He flashed blue ribbon at me, and that's all I saw of him for the whole weekend. So whether he laid on them at night and just covered himself in blue ribbon, Mr. Gillett, I don't know.
Little tease.
Yeah, he was a tease. Full pack of blue ribbons and a bit of leg. That's what he was showing me from the other side of the harbour area. I thought, oh, you've been hanging around with Paul too long, you have.
It's all gone south.
It's all gone south. It's all gone Pete Tong now.
But yeah, I'll do it. I remember saying that and then bumping into Mike when he was in his press gear rather in the village. And I think there was 2 or 3 of your guys up in the tower picking people off, and we sort of got smoke out, and it was almost like that Carl Weathers moment in Predator. So I've got my MP7 gas blowback in one hand, just sort of laying it down like that, and then sort of put my hand around, trying to drag Mike out, dragging him through the woods, and he says, you know, you can actually just tell me which way to go. You don't have to drag me.
So Paul's literally got me like the scruff of the neck, pulling me to the right or whatever. I'm like,
I think I see the start of that video in some of the videos that were dropped in the Apocalypse MilSim Facebook chat tonight. Yeah, that's cool.
I said to him, I said, you can genuinely just tell me where to go, Paul. I'm not going to run away. Just because I could just see it. I could see the 2 of us just stacking it down the hill.
Yeah, this is going to go in one way, really fucking terribly.
66% of NoFo end up in hospital.
I'm just like, where's Michael Paul gone? Hello?
But yeah, but it was really good. And that other video as well. I mean, I didn't. So we were sat up around the fire, and it was just a moment to have a pot noodle. So I sat.
Is this the bench story?
Yeah. So I was sat up on the bench.
Yeah, you need to elaborate on this.
So this jet boil, right? I've never used it before. It was kind of pretty much it was box fresh. So I'm sat up there, and I've got this jet boil going, and I'm sat there having a pot noodle just up by the Jeep, literally where there is that Jeep or whatever it is turned up on its side up there. There's a little fire pit, and someone, I don't know who's gone up there and sort of whittled together this really good bench. And I'm sat on this bench over one half having a bit of a pot noodle, and then Rage comes up to me and he's like, oh, you got a bit of room? Yeah, no worries, mate. So I've shifted across to the left. Rage just sat down next to me, and then just as that's happened, you just heard this crack, and then no, this is not my half of the bench, but the half that his petite derriere was sat on has just sort of gone like that. So he's hit the deck that way.
That is the bench in question.
So that is the bench in question. Pre-collapse.
I didn't realise until I looked at this photograph how white my hair is. But But I'm sat on
Beautiful.
this bench, and that's now
The
collapsed.
silver fox. That's what we call you.
Exactly that. Richard Gere from the Years Up. And so the bench is gone, and then when I'm sat there eating this pot noodle, Pyro Brett is behind me. Mimsy's recording.
Oh wow, you've got a pyro
phone.
guy, Pyro Brett.
Yeah, so then
we've got Build a Bomb on Blue 4, but unfortunately he wasn't there. It's Isaac's old man, Build a Bomb.
Oh right, yeah. So
Yeah.
Pyro Brett. So, and I'm sat there having this pot noodle, and I have no idea what it is. This whether it's like a crow scarer type thing or whatever, sellotape together, and Mimsy's filming it, and I'm sort of just there, sat on this bench with my back turned, and this thing gives us it's an almighty bang, and I didn't.
You didn't even flinch.
Switch.
I saw the
and then
video.
He goes, "I'm really impressed. You didn't even flinch." Yeah, but I'm pretty much close to following through. I might not have flinched.
But I just
you literally stood up and went.
The other half of the bench going
What?
like that.
Yeah, you are.
So it was it was some really, some fun little moments, some bits where we kind of sat around the fire and you're meeting people, and I did that a little bit of an Insta live feed with Mike the other night, and as much as that fun game time is when you're out there and you're sort of in the woods and all that, the little moments where you're around the fire catching up with people and
mate, the little moments of downtime where you can just sort of interact and have a little chat and a catch up, mate. They're the best. It's cracking. Really good.
So no, good. But like I said, some key learnings come out of it.
Absolutely, definitely, Like hopefully for the next one, to cut a little issues ironed out. No, nothing major, but
That can evolve and move forward. But no, I think it was quite interesting having those additional little roles in there. So like the press photographer. Actually, I don't even remember. I don't think I saw you as the.
No, you didn't. I don't. It was only like I think six or seven up for in the village at that point. So
yeah. So, but it just adds it in nicely. This is the same as what they do with Longmore, isn't it? I think the last one that we went on, it was you've got your Civ Pop and you've got your Blue 4, but anyone on Civ Pop wants to do something else, then feel free. And we had construction workers that.
That's it. Yeah, you shoehorn some characters in there and stuff like that.
Yeah, and you had other people. You had the market stalls. You had whatever it might be.
Paul, remind me, who's the guy with the fruit and veg? He's got to get a shout out because it's the only event I go to where I eat so well.
I know, I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'll have to dig it out. But what I do know is you put an explosive in a pineapple, that shit flies.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So many pineapples were hurt that weekend.
Yeah.
So you might want to duck. So if I say, I've just put some pyro in a pineapple, and I'm like, right, this isn't going to go. You know what I mean? It's
going to go one way, fucking terribly.
And honestly, I think bits of pineapple landed in the safe zone. We just went mental, absolutely mental. But yeah, it all adds to the fun, and everyone, you know what I mean? It's amazing. He brings all this fruit up, and everyone just hovers around it, and just like you see people walking in the village with a big bunch of grapes or whatever it is. I'm not quite sure many people ate the pineapple, apart from the bits that were stuck to their head or whatever afterwards. But
it is a bit of a difficult fruit to eat on a MilSim. Like
it is, because you can't really cut it up with your fake knife.
And just sit there carving a chunk of pineapple out. Like.
We've got a cat.
I've got a Charlotte. You got a cat.
I see your Charlotte. I raised you a Rosie. But yeah, I mean, the fruit and veg stall. Mike's got a sellotape dispenser. Lovely. I think Paul wins that one.
I must admit, though, I'm partial to a bit of stationery.
It's odd, isn't it? It's odd. Shiny pen, new shiny pen. We get that works. We have to sign loads of briefing sheets at work and that, and it's like someone gets a pen out. It's like, ooh.
I've got in my office. I've got a filing cabinet, and in said filing cabinet is all the decent shit when it comes to stationery. Oh,
there we go. Look, fruit, and then I said literally that is a full fruit stall. Greengrocers a lot.
I mean, also kiwi fruits. Kiwi fruits are a difficult one to eat without like.
Oh, that's a bastard to eat that. Yeah, I love the taste of kiwi, but stop peeling it and getting the good stuff out. No way. No, just give me an apple.
My old governor, he eats the lot. The furry fruit a lot.
Oh my god.
Straight in, mate. I'm not sure he'd do the same with the pineapple, but.
I'd like to see that. Yeah, as a challenge. No, I'm a good old-fashioned apple man myself. Apple, give me an apple. That's it.
You like an apple, yeah. I'm
do like an apple.
With you there. But no,
a Brayburn's my favourite.
It does
like
add to it does add to the whole piece, really. I think that fruit stall and people.
It does, but yeah, just that little element of realism. Yeah, I mean, it's actually like you've got a functioning sort of village sort of thing there. That's it's all good.
Yeah,
it's quality. No, fair play to him for that. I must find out what his name is. Christ, I can't remember his name now. I want to say it's like a Spanishy sort of.
Is it Felipe?
Felipe, that's the kiddie.
That
is the one. Yeah, there we go. Look.
Yeah.
Matty's just told us.
Mutti.
Felipe the fruit guy. There we go.
Is that Mutti or Minty?
Minty.
My time.
Yeah, no, but overall, for that event, for the first one back over like sort of a 24-hour, 48-hour period, yep, I was very happy with it. Knackered, boiling hot.
Interesting as well is that throughout this whole sort of, you've got to be looking at a good almost couple of years. And throughout that, I mean, that's a long ass period of time when you think about it. I mean, this one here is 2. So, do you know what I mean? When you put it into that perspective of time that we've not really played, but we've been investing in lots of little £50 purchases throughout that time.
Absolutely.
When you get to your first event, to then go out and, I didn't have loads of stuff that I didn't need. All I had was
exactly that.
I probably didn't need for that event, if you know what I mean. I could have probably got away with different. So if I'd have been up there and put the hammock thing to the test, I'd have got away with a hammock and a jungle blanket rather than a snug pack and a 4-season sleeping bag.
Yeah,
so then I'd have had
sure, mate, for sure.
I'd have had more room in my bag for other, for whatever.
But it's fine. It's finding that line, isn't it, between like, oh yeah, right, I've sacrificed. Not sacrificing, but I can get away with a jungle sleeping bag and a hammock this time. So I've saved myself a ton of space. But then it's being mindful of not to fill the space you've gained with more shit that you're not going to use.
Yeah, and I think it'd just saved me a few trips up the hill with other bits,
That's it, yeah.
But I wasn't going to risk it all on a hammock, and it all goes wrong. But when you go up to that Jeep, there's not a lot of floor space, but there are a lot of trees. So,
mate, it's a perfect. It's like I say, it's a pine forest. It's perfect for setting hammocks up. That place there should be full of them. Wicked.
Yeah,
it's good.
So, but yeah, other than that, I mean, I'm massively impressed with that MP7. That's just
nice.
You pull the trigger on it, squeezing off a little bit of full auto. You get the smell of the gas. You get the noise that it makes. You get like a gentle sort of, my cheeks kind of like.
Paul, you'd have to invest in one of them the units for the front, the light hogs or whatever they're called, the Spitfires.
The Spitfires, yeah.
That lights up the gas that gets emitted from the muzzle, just lights it up like a flame. That'd be awesome to see that.
No,
just don't buy one off Wish though.
Yeah, don't get a proper one. Don't get it from Wish. Buy it. But it looks awesome. Mr. Kettle's brought one, and he's got it for his Colt Dimarco, which is a gas blowback. And he sent us a video of that and firing it in his garage in the pitch dark, and he just is this flame. Well, it's obviously not flame, obviously, of course. It's lighting the gas cloud up, but it just looks wicked.
But it's nice to go, knowing that if my I said on the thing the other night, if my 416 was to have packed up on the Friday morning, I would quite comfortably use that under the right weather conditions now for a weekend.
That's it. You can rely on it, can't you?
To have that confidence now, yeah.
That's like me with my MP5, my Blue Edition MP5 from Simon, mate. It's just like this just won't stop,
Yeah.
Just one to fall back on every time. The DMR, the DMR that obviously Giuseppe done a few weeks ago for me, that was rocking all weekend, good as gold. Couple of little issues with me 249, but that's getting squared away as we speak. So, but yeah, obviously the DMR.
It's nice having something small and light as well to run around with. Sometimes.
Oh mate, yeah. MP7s, MP5s all day. You must have some sort of SMG of some description, but purely for the role as well. Like especially for PMC roles, like an MP5 sort of comes into its own really.
On it as well, so you've got the IR light, and you've got all the other gubbins that go with it. So it just means I can leave it on that and use that for night time. And comfortably go and use the other one throughout the day. So that was all right, yeah, And
especially up there, Paul, with all the trees in it, mate. If you're using an MP7 at night with all the nods gubbins on it, I mean, for manoeuvrability through the tree line and stuff like that, I mean, it's going to be a no-brainer, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, 416 it's not massively long, but it is a longer rifle, isn't it? Same with my Bolt. You know what I mean? They're only going to ever be so short until you start dropping into like the MP5 category or like the MP7 or the Scorpion or something like that. You're never going to be able to have it as. I mean, for me, a nighttime weapon in like a sort of built-up woodland area would be something that's no wider than your shoulders. Do you know what I mean? Something that you can really hunker it in,
The thing is, as well, is when you look at the areas that you're kind of attacking at night, most of the activity is around either the stockade. So if you get into the stockade,
it's a fucking bullet magnet, that place.
Need to be CQB. If you get into the village, some sort of smaller weapon is perfect because you're literally, sort of hut to hut to hut. But yeah, so but it was good to get out and get that kit tested and.
And cycle some rounds through it as well. Just throw a couple of hundred rounds through it at least.
Yeah, and I thought what I'd do is I took a little notepad and I thought, when I'm there, I'm just going to write down all the stuff that I don't really use, and then that can potentially come out of it all. But I'd quite happily pretty much taken everything again. There wasn't loads there, that I thought shit no.
So any kit pull that you took for the weekend that you've probably didn't need, or did you overpack in some areas that you thought maybe I bought too much of this stuff? Or I mean, for me it was rations because of the heat. I didn't eat as much as I was going to. I drunk. I mean, don't get me wrong, I drunk till the cows come home water all weekend. Absolutely smashed that. I mean, whatever these are, I think they're 20. Are they 20 litres or twice those? Whatever that is.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I'd done all of that nearly over the course of the weekend. So.
I think the food definitely. I took enough for 2.5 days, and didn't even come close. Water, I churned through that. But I think I packed like a softie.
I did, yeah. See, that's what I was thinking. I packed my softie jacket just in case, because I think it'd have been a different story if it had been crystal clear. Because the Friday and Saturday night they were both really cloudy. We had low cloud cover. Which was crap for the nods. I think if it had been clear on the Friday night, I think you'd have found it would have been a bit colder on the Saturday morning. Yeah, but which is where the softie would have come into its own.
I packed a hoodie, so I had a hoodie and a softie, and you think I don't really need both.
That's a fair one. Yeah.
Softie. Food-wise, again, as I say, certain other bits I would have taken anyway. So, I did have spare iPro in the car, but taking the spare iPro to save me going back to the car or whatever, or through an active game zone. So that sort of stuff would stay. The only thing that I probably will refine down a bit further is I've got like a personal first aid kit, which has probably got enough in it to sort of see to about 8 people if I needed to. It's just too much. Do you know what I mean? And I could probably, because then that means that I carry another sort of warrior utility pouch with other stuff in it, which definitely is kind of linked to a personal med kit. So, I've got plasters, burn gel, cold packs, everything like that in one. And then in the other one, I've got things like, my epilepsy tablets, hay fever tablets, Nurofen, like a little spray eye wash bottle. So really what I could do with is just digging out some of the crap in the first aid kit that I'm not really going to need and then turning 2 into 1.
That's it. I mean, essentially, the first thing you've got to do is square away yourself.
Yeah.
Above and beyond. Do you know what I mean? If you've got any underlying medical issues that you need certain tablets for or whatnot, that you need to make sure that you're squared away first. And then, the only additional thing that I carry, which I don't suffer from, is I carry Rennie because Dan still goes through them like a curry to a pisshead.
Yeah.
Because he just suffers from massive heartburn and have acid indigestion and all that. So I can always carry an extra couple of packs of Rennie on me just in case he hasn't got any. Because if he eats an MRE or a British Rat Pack meal, he's just like, ready, straight after it. So it's like, yeah, got some. Was in town, thought of you, bought them of these.
I think the other things really, I mean, I had like 7 batteries for me AEG.
I just take that Titan. I've got no tell a lie. I've got the one Titan, and I've got the Nuprol 2600 milliamp hour lipo. And all 3 of mine are all Dean's connected, so I can just chop and change between whatever I want to use.
Yeah, so I really probably only needed the 3. Just you have to remember with the my 416, it's got the Titan advanced on it, so you have to unplug it from the MOSFET, otherwise it will just drain you down anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, other than that, mate, I took the little silky ball bag with BBs in it. Didn't carry loads, just left some back at the car. So I really tried to be as smart as possible when it comes to gear, because I knew I was having to go up and down that Jeep.
That's it, mate. And it does. It depends. As long as you get some good in on where you're actually going, what you're going to actually be doing, how you're going to be setting up, you'll get the mind. You'll get in the right mindset then for packing the kit accordingly. I mean, like Longmore and that. I'm not saying it's not luxurious, because once that kicks off, it kicks off then. but you've got that initial time to get prepped.
Yeah,
you're not parking up and then you're loading you back up and then you're out on the ground and that's it. Then do you know what I mean? So you can afford to
up and literally from every bit of cubic space in the back of the truck, and I can park outside the house at Longmore and unload it all. You know what I mean? So whereas you're kind of being a bit more cute with regards to what you're taking, but I don't think there's strangely I don't think I missed anything either. There's nothing I didn't. But I thought, oh shit, really, I could have done with that.
Yeah, exactly. And on the flip side of that as well, everything I sort of packed in a roundabout kind of way I used.
Yeah.
Like for example, like my additional power banks for charging my Bofangs in the evening because they were caned. I've obviously been on comms all day long with them between the various sections and stuff like that. So that was wicked, having the charging docks for the Bofangs with the USB connectors to go to the power packs, charge them through the night. That was wicked, awesome.
I think that's just that's something I need to get hold of. So my comms packed up on. Well, they were just packed up from day one, to be fair. So my Raycals, I could communicate out, I can hear in, but the sound enhancing had gone on them. So it's kind of like just having both your fingers in your ears, but you can hear in and out. What people are saying. So yeah, no, not really ideal. So I didn't really use them loads, but to be fair, that'd probably be one thing that I'll invest in. So two things that I'm kind of going to get. So one of them I've already had delivered. So I was literally carrying that para case up the Jeep with my MP7 and my HA45 and all the mags in, whereas Mike Marden had the it's like the military first whatever gun bag that he's got, the large gun bag, which fit in. So I literally came back and thought, you know what, I'll just grab one of those. So I ordered one of those. That's up in the loft now, ready to for the next event. But I will. Yeah, I think anything really that you can adapt to charge on a USB, especially things like the Baofeng, that's sort of another investment that I'll have to make.
Yeah, because I've been on previous events where I haven't taken the charging docks and the comms have gone down. It does change your game. It does. It puts you at a massive disadvantage not to be able to get in touch with sections.
That's the one thing we said. If we could do anything better, so we went totally dark on a night, so no tracers, no IR. So we had all the Zentico gear and all that on my gun, but I didn't use any of it. We literally just used the nods and the thermal, and that was it. But then equally, the one thing that we kind of said that we need to get a bit more into is the comms bit. So we got them right, got them working, checked them all literally the weekend before. Everything was working well. Turned up there on the day. Mine aren't working great. And people hadn't been tuned into the right frequencies in advance. The settings in the back menus were all different, so you kind of sat there trying to redo them all and get them all squared away. So when you went out, some people might have had a different, sub frequency in the menus and things like that. So it's just little bits.
That's an absolute classic for comms. Like everyone always rocks up. No matter how much prep you give them in advance, it's always like people don't really understand their radios and stuff, and you hit the ground and it just stops working completely. Yeah,
but yeah, really key. You know what I mean? If you can get them right. So, and I do like the Raycals. I must admit, in-ears don't bother me. Equally, I've got the contacts, but they're on my lid. But so I don't mind using the Raycals, but whether I can send them away to JCI comms just to get them to have a look, or now the event's over, just literally disconnect it all, sit there with it, plug them in, turn them on, turn them off,
see what happens, mate.
Cable or something like that.
Could be anything. It could be a little gremlin in the system, mate. Yeah, you don't know, do you? That's the thing.
So yeah, other than that, mate, that's that. I would say that was. Oh, hello. That'd be about it. Happy with everything. The guns work well. The kit worked well. The scraps that we had worked well. Had a lovely, good bit. Nice bit of use on the thermal. Which unfortunately he's playing up now, so that's been sent away to thermal hospital. So that's got every time I squeeze the trigger, I get white lines appear up the screen.
Right. Okay. So that definitely sounds like a loose connection or something. Some sort of contact.
Been sent back to Optics Warehouse. Who I must admit, have been great. No issues whatsoever. They've sent it straight off to their supplier, which I'm guessing is probably might be a Pulsar dealership, something like that. They're looking at it in a minute, so hopefully that'll be resolved. The nods, no issues with that at all, and but it's devastatingly good when you're using those two systems together.
Oh, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I mean, my nods are only Gen 1, so I was heavily reliant on the IR for the Friday, especially for the Friday night, because of that low cloud cover and the canopy. But outside of that, yeah, fantastic. I mean, then relying on the thermal for engaging and sort of PID, and it was wicked. It was great to use. And just nice to have it out again and to be able to use it for an event. Do you know what I mean? Sort of get the dust off it.
Village. So we were at the back of the hut that's got the split level with a dirty mattress in the top, or it used to have a dirty mattress. And people were in the Chiefs hut, I think, Blue 4 in the Chiefs hut, laying down fire in and out. And a couple of our guys, I pushed around the side, and a couple of our guys got taken out from behind, where a couple of your Blue 4 guys had pushed through. So I've turned back, looked through the thermal, seen them at the gap in the fence, squeezed a couple of rounds off. They've then run across and hidden behind the fence. So they're ducked down. They can't see me. Using the thermal, literally, you've got like a half-inch gap in the wood that you could see their body heat through.
Mm-hmm.
And it was that dark. I, bold as brass, just stood up and walked over to them. And it was just like, came out, done them. And you just don't realise. So it's all fun taking it up the range on a Saturday night, and having
but it's mate, once you get into an event, it's predator mode, isn't it?
Exactly. When you start using it, you think,
it's quality. There was I think it was a couple of events ago where we cleared the camper van area and walked into that woodland, and I was on point because I had my thermal scope on the M4, and you can just literally just pick heat targets out. And I know full well that there's no more Blue 4 sections out in front of me. It's just all up 4, and it's just like poof, 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 hit. You got no IR, you got no signature, you got no light giving away, nothing.
Exactly that. And what was also good though is that there was people there that they've sort of really sorted out their night tradecraft without the need for that sort of kit as well. So you got the little toys and that that we've got, which is great to have as a squad. But there's some people out there really holding their own, just understanding how to play at night.
This is, like I said, I did MilSim for 5-6 years without thermal or NVGs.
Yeah.
At all. And, you're at a disadvantage. But like you say, one thing I did notice is that with my nods on and using the thermal, I'm less conscious of the sound I'm creating.
Yep.
Whereas when I've got none of that, I am super, super quiet.
Yeah.
Which is something I've got to sort of get into my mind, is that although you can see where you're going and what you're doing, you need to maintain that, rolling the bottom foot, going from the outside of your foot to the centre, not just stomping. You've actually got to place your foot where you're going, and be mindful of the noise you're making. Because I think that's something that can get lost on people using nods, is how much noise you're actually creating, because you can see where you're going. There's no hazard there.
Yep.
You can just sort of like bowl through.
Yeah.
Whereas,
yeah.
do you know what I mean? Whereas if you haven't got them, you've got to use that tiny little bit of red flash or a little bit of white flash, just to okay, I've got a low lying branch there. Okay, mindful of that. Approach it with caution, blah 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 blah, and you're going to do it slowly. Whereas when you've got the greens on, you're like, oh, it's branch, off we go, crack on, la 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 la. Snap. That's it, yeah.
There's a tree.
Chucking machetes out, just hacking the shit out of stuff in the dark.
So I suppose the only real shout out, I will shut up in a sec, but the only other shout out I really do have to give is Silly Gilly.
Oh, mate.
Yes.
My days, that geezer is phenomenal. He literally...
He knows his onions, doesn't he?
We walked out of our fob down the hill, and it's only because someone caught out the corner of our eye that he was a third of the way up our hill to our fob, and was just laying in a bush, and no one noticed. They got the thermal, looked at it and see him, and then they poked him on the arse with a stick. But he's got... Oh, mate. He's just there. You get shot and you think, where's that come from? You look round and he's just there.
He's a sneaky little bastard. That's what he is.
But then he's like,
he's so polite as well.
Yeah,
he's such a polite, really
he's the politest horrible sniper I've ever met.
He said to me, he shot me like that, and he came up to me and he gave me feedback on basically how he could see me, which was, you're standing out in the open, mate. I could see you. But then it was like, almost I could have shot you anywhere, but I thought I'd do the decent thing and shoot you on the arm. And I thought, just Do you know what I mean? It's just he's so nice.
Show off.
Yeah, exactly that. You know, it just reminds me of that in that film, Clear and Present Danger, where they're about to send that.
Do you know what? I was watching a bit of that today. Literally today, I was watching some of that with the sniper school.
Sniper, when they're standing there on that jeep, looking out, going, you know, shoot her at your feet, and they go out and go no, and then he shoots the thing, and they go shoot at your feet. Oh no, he was just here eating a burrito. You know,
that's it. Yeah.
That's what he reminded me of. He's just there. But yeah, what an asset, you know, to your team, because you could let him go. Clearly, you did. He was there. He went. Yeah. He was just there, you know.
The amount of times I got on comms and I had like Zero. This is November 23. It's like, yeah, pass your message over. It's like, do we have any friendly snipers in RAO? Give you a grid reference. I'll be like, fuck knows, probably.
Maybe.
I don't know. Just approach with caution. He'll spot you before you spot him, so don't worry.
Right, we better wrap it up, guys, because it's now getting a bit late.
Yes, no, not at all. Do you want to jump into the chat at all, Mike? We've missed. I mean, I've been trying to keep up.
There's a few questions I've been answering. So Jade's had a few questions about NMGs and bits and pieces that we've sort of. I think I might have covered it. But yeah, I mean, feel free if anyone's got any ideas. If anyone's got anything they want to ask, whatever, just pop a chat on the NoFo page on Facebook. We can carry on conversations on there afterwards. That's not a problem.
Absolutely, yeah.
In terms of next week, I think we are going to be covering kit maintenance in the field. So tips and tricks for repairs. Webcam. There we go, back. Dealing with, little bits of repairs and tips and stuff, sort of stuff to have on you for dealing with little problems.
If anything sort of goes down or... Yeah.
We can cover that off quite quickly. Don't get it dirty. As
soon as there's a chance of rain, just go and sit in the car.
Plastic wrap, everything. The other thing to be aware of as well is that we've been having a little chat, and we're conscious of the fact that now we're all sort of more out of lockdown. Fridays are sort of becoming a bit more of a challenge for everybody. As such, I think we're going to be running episodes on Wednesday now. Feel free to correct me, guys, if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think so, Paul.
Yep.
It's more of a doable day for me.
Yeah.
Happy with that.
So we're going to be running the episodes on Wednesday.
PlayStation Tuesdays and Thursdays. So good luck.
So we're going to be live on Thursday at 8 o'clock every week from now on. So next week will be on a Wednesday. Wednesday, yeah. Yeah, because you said Thursday.
Wild Wednesday. Now it's Wild Wednesday with NoFo.
But obviously you can catch up online as well. We're obviously on all the fairly major podcast streams and YouTube and Facebook as well. So
absolutely
cool.
Patches.
Yes, we've obviously got patches for sale. I apologise. I did have all the patches with me at the weekend, and then nobody had any cash with them because obviously everyone's out in the game playing.
And you got executed.
Paul, yeah, I got executed as well. Yeah, I actually have your patches, Paul, as well. I forgot to give them to you. Apologies.
No worries. Just drop in the WhatsApp group your PayPal, mate. And I'll
that's fine.
Finger the cash over.
Yeah, that's fine. So for anybody else that wants patches, please feel free to contact us. If you don't have the details, I think they are posted on our Facebook page. Can I just ask that anyone that does send us money, please put your address on the PayPal. It makes it a lot easier for processing, because otherwise I'll just have to come and ask you for the address afterwards.
I mean, we shouldn't be telling you guys already because you should have all ordered them by now. But if you haven't, shame on you.
That does reek of very familiar when you see on Facebook, and I've seen it from both Dave's Custom Airsoft and Kingdom of Airsoft, where they put a post on their Facebook page to the person that sent their Scar H up to our shop. Can you please let us know who you are, because you've not put your name in it. You get about
who are you?
It's mine.
I think it's easily done, to be fair, because I think there is an option where you send the money, it says what your shipping address is, but that doesn't come through on the PayPal payment to us. So it needs to be in the comments, because otherwise I don't know where I'm sending it
as a payment reference type thing, guys. Yeah.
But his timeshare's almost paid off in Portugal, so
awesome.
I wish. We are still cost down at the moment. We seem to sell a lot more patches to become cost neutral. So the more we sell, the more you're supporting the stream. So
that's awesome. Enough said. Good stuff.
Cool. Right. Well, that's obviously the end of the show. Thanks everyone for joining us. Thanks, Paul. It's always nice to see the family.
Fashionably late.
Fashionably late as ever.
Oh, that's all right. I wouldn't worry.
You know, look, this is how interested I am. Look.
Oh bless. Stogies are on you on the next official meetup as well.
She's not even asleep, mate. She's just got a super wicked poker face.
That's it, yeah. She's like, boring.
Andy's just asked if we've reached our YouTube subscribers yet, and no, we haven't. I think we're at 83 at the moment.
It's at 83, and it's all Ed's fault.
Yeah. So if anybody would like to follow us on YouTube, it would be great if you could click the little subscribe button. Because we just want to hit 100, and I promise I will never ask you to subscribe again.
That's it. You heard it here first. If he does ask anyone to subscribe after 100, you get a free dinner date with Mike.
Okay.
Whatever.
Actually, I'm feeling down for that. I love dinner. That's fine.
Dinner's wicked. Yeah, I'm up for that as well as it goes. Yeah, 3 of us. Fuck it. Why not?
I don't know what you're complaining about. Cool. Right. Anyway, say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
See you later.
We'll see you all soon.
Take it
Cheers.
easy.
Shut up.